and welcome to Open Circuit from STAUFF UK. I'm Ian Stansby and we're back in the STAUFF Digital Studio. Today we've got David Jackson with us. We're going to be talking today about a very important topic to STAUFF UK and STAUFF Global and a lot of bigger companies, which is Cyber Essentials. So we're going to have a quick word from our sponsor product for the day and then we'll be back with Dave. STAUFF NRC clamp has been specifically developed to offer noise and vibration dampening on the installation of both tube and hose lines. Based on the world-leading STAUFF polypropylene clamp body in both standard or heavy series, this outstanding product complies and exceeds the criteria to satisfy DIN 3015. Common external diameters range from 6 to 42mm for tube and between 38 to 55.7mm for hoses. Specially moulded two-part elastomer insert mechanically dampens vibrations in the tube or hose and minimises the resulting noise. The insert is characterised by the minimal contact surface with the tube or hose lines and the clamp body, making it significantly more effective than previous solutions. If you'd like any further information on this fantastic product, please contact your local ASM or STAUFF sales office. So again, as I said, we're back with Dave Jackson. He's our IT manager here in Sheffield and looks after the UK group. So Dave, first of all, what is Cyber Essentials and what level do we work to in STAUFF?
Thank you very much. So Cyber Essentials is a government-backed certification to show that we as a company take cybersecurity seriously. There's two levels to it. So there's Cyber Essentials and Cyber Essentials Plus. Cyber Essentials is basically a questionnaire.
Yeah.
So we have to supply a list of all our devices. That's our laptops, PCs, mobile phones, servers, things like that. And we have to explain which versions of operating system they're running, which software they're running, and how we keep these up to date.
This is on the basic level, the Cyber Essentials.
So this is on the basic level.
Yeah. Okay.
We have to explain how we manage our security and how we manage our devices. So, for example, we have to make sure that all our software is up to date and all our operating system up to date. Mm-hmm. And as part of the questionnaire, they ask how we manage that. So for us, we use Microsoft Intune, which involves update rings. So we have, say, the IT department where they get updates on day one. Then you have a wider group of people who get the updates on day 3, and then everyone else on day 9.
Yeah. And
that falls within a 14-day period that we need to update everything for Cyber Essentials.
Right.
We have to explain other things, so like our password policies, how we enforce secure passwords, how we force multi-factor authentication. So if we do get hacked, someone gets a password, they can't get into anything without multi-factor.
Yeah, okay.
We have to explain sort of other things, onboarding, offboarding procedures for devices to make sure when someone leaves the company, they can't get onto the system.
And this is still on the basic level?
This is still on the basic level.
Right,
okay. We have to explain it all.
Yeah.
And make sure we match all their criteria for security. For the plus, we have to prove it.
Right. So this is where you were running around the business for the audit and making sure everybody knew what they were doing. So that becomes the plus level. Yeah.
Correct.
Right. We have to. STAUFF UK are Cyber Essentials Plus.
We are.
Right. So obviously, to get the certification, we have to prove it. So how do we prove to the guys who run Cyber Essentials Plus that we're doing it right? And also, how often do we have to prove it?
You're right. So once we've submitted the questionnaire, we then have the Cyber Essentials company connect up and check that everything we said is correct. So one of the tests they do penetration testing on our firewalls, where we give them details of our firewalls and they try to hack in.
Okay.
Because of how good our firewalls are, how good our parent company in Germany, Lucad, are, we've never failed. Our firewalls are top notch.
Right.
And we always do well. We have to submit screenshots of mobile phones to prove that they're on the latest iOS, to prove they're not jailbroken.
Yeah.
And again, we have policy in place that if anyone doesn't have the most up-to-date phone or up-to-date software, they can't get on the company data. So
right.
we always pass that. They then connect up to our devices, list of devices that we've given them,
Yeah.
and they check various things. So they check that the antivirus is enabled, they check that the OS version is the latest version that it should be, and then they try and download some fake malicious files.
Okay.
The test is to make sure that the files either don't download, or if they download, they don't run.
Yeah.
And again, thanks to our firewalls, our antivirus, thanks to all the systems we have in place, we're always fine.
So basically, I mean, I'm of an age where I remember Terminator, and when I think of cyber attacks, I think of Judgment Day, and everything grinded to a halt, etc. But that's just me. But what would happen if STAUFF were to suffer with a successful cyber attack?
So the days of everything grinds to a halt aren't really there anymore.
I hope you're touching wood when you say that, because anything can happen, can't it?
True. But again, I mentioned Lucad, who manage our network security, manage our firewalls. They are good.
Yeah.
So the risk of us suffering a cyber attack is incredibly low. I reckon the biggest risk to us is data leaks.
Right.
Where a hacker could get into someone's emails or get onto someone's system and take personal data, take sensitive information,
Right, okay.
things like that.
Yeah.
So that, I would say in the current day, that is the most common cyber attack that companies suffer.
Yeah.
We mitigate that by enabling multi-factor authentication and having secure firewalls.
Right.
Multi-factor stops anyone getting in with just a password. So
Multi-factor is putting
that's
two pieces
where
of information in, basically. Yeah.
two or more information. So where you need a password and then a security code or something on your phone.
Yeah.
It really restricts how much damage anyone can do.
So the days of using password 1, 2, 3, 4, that type of thing, we don't do anymore.
Pretty much that's ruled out now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
There are other potential cyber attacks that could happen. Ransomware, again, it's less common than it used to be, but ransomware is a thing where a malicious actor can get a bit of software on a computer that then encrypts all your files, and then displays a message saying, pay us some money to get your files back.
Yeah.
Again, thanks to the audits that we do, where all these bad files are blocked, it's very, very unlikely to get through.
So realistically, that's moving on to the next question, really, of how do we prevent these attacks? You've answered very well on the attacks and how we're stopping them. We do successfully stop them. People around the world are always trying these things but how do we actually prevent the attacks?
So it is a constant struggle for IT professionals to keep on top of. That's because as new methods of attack get released, companies have got to fight them, and it's an ongoing battle. But we fight it by, again, our super strong firewalls. And the biggest weak point of any system is the users. So users are open to phishing attacks, where a phishing attack is where someone will get an email and asking for some information that looks legitimate. And you click on a link and you put in a password, and then the hacker has a password. So for us, we do regular training. We enforce cyber security training before anyone gets on the internet.
Right. Okay. When you say before anybody gets on the internet, what do you mean by that?
So when we get a new starter, for example, part of the induction is they must complete the cybersecurity course, which issues a certificate.
Right.
And it's an automated process that they don't have internet access until that certificate is issued.
Right.
And that lasts for a year. Every year, everyone has to redo that course.
Yes.
Otherwise, lose internet access.
Which it makes sense, we're dealing with people who want to either damage the company or even damage the reputation of the company is a way that they think they've won, isn't it, really?
Exactly.
So we need to make sure, and as you say, the weakest point is us as human beings. We can't always stop ourselves from doing the wrong things, can we? But we do train everybody, and that's everybody in the whole business who uses a computer of some sort, or a phone, etc.
So our staff have gotten very good at questioning emails, questioning things. On a daily basis. I get emails forwarding to me saying, does this look dodgy? And I'd say 8 times out of 10 it probably isn't.
Yeah.
But they're checking. Everyone's checking and is constantly aware of the dangers, and that is exactly what we want. We want everyone to think cybersecurity whenever they're using a computer.
So from that, we have hybrid working. We have people who can work from home sometimes. That's changing. The world's changing again, isn't it? Back to people coming back into the business more, which again we're going through the process of that. But we do have people working at home. We also have ASMs out on the road. How do we ensure that the security is passed on to them as well, and we're making sure that they're doing what they should be doing and the system's doing what it should be doing?
Yeah. So when we have devices in the building, they're behind our firewalls, we know that they're protected using our security. It does become more of a challenge when someone's outside the network, when someone's at home. So we use 40-client VPN software. So for anyone to get on our main sales system, they must connect via the VPN, which is a private protected tunnel, which basically unhackable. And to limit the risk of malicious software getting onto these devices, the 40-client enforces the same firewall rules at home as it does in the building.
So the final question realistically is, we look after ourselves, as all businesses do, to protect ourselves. However, the thing is that because we're not a selfish business, and because we want to make sure that we keep successfully doing business with people, what's the value to our customers and suppliers from what we do?
So by having the Cyber Essentials Plus certification, the biggest benefit is confidence for our customers, for our suppliers. When they see that we've got the Cyber Essentials certification, they know that their data is secure. They know that their sensitive drawings, their information that they send us, all those little bits and pieces, they know that it's safe. They know that we are keeping cybersecurity at the top of the
forefront of,
of everyone's mind. That it matters to us and we care. And I think that's a big thing. It shows we care.
So basically, you're guaranteeing me now that next time somebody comes shouting down the car park, I'll be back. That's a joke rather than, that's not Judgment Day happening.
I hope when a customer comes and says they'll be back.
Right, well, that's the main thing. As long as the customers come back, that's the main thing. Thank you very much for your time, Dave. Anyway, thank you very much for joining us today on Open Circuit. We'll be back again soon. If you've got any questions for any of our experts throughout the business or anything that you'd like highlighting on the show, please let us know. The details will be shown right at the end. Thank you very much, and we'll see you soon.